George St-Pierre just won the title after 4 years of absence. If you'd like to watch my analysis of his fight against Michael Bisping, stay tuned and watch this short video. If you want to master MMA fundamentals, check out my instructional called MMA Essential Lessons. In it you can learn about clinch takedowns, boxing, grappling, Muay Thai, ground and pound, Thai and puppet master clinch, escapes from inferior positions, and shooting takedowns. Check out the link in the description below. Hi, my name is Mark Leichner from MMAcoach.net, where we teach coaches, fighters and enthusiasts how to train smart and not just hard. In today's video, I'll be analyzing a fight between George St-Pierre and Michael Bisping. You've all seen the fight. George St-Pierre is back and he won in a spectacular fashion. Today I'll be analyzing what went wrong for Michael Bisping, what he could have done better, what George St-Pierre could have done better, because it was not a perfect victory. It was a great victory, don't get me wrong, but he could have done some things better. And Michael Bisping did put him in trouble in few instances. So today I'll share my opinion about that. First, let's start with Michael Bisping. What did he do right? Well, he did clip George a couple of times with a 1-2 combination. He did cut him up from the bottom, from bottom guard. He cut him up with the elbows, and that he did right. He also got up every time George took him down. And this was expected. Michael Bisping is really good at getting up. I don't think any of his opponents, or at least most of his opponents, couldn't hold him down once they got him down. For example, Chael Sonnen, who is probably stronger than GSP, in his prime, when he was also using steroids, he was really strong. He couldn't keep Michael Bisping down. So I presume that George St-Pierre couldn't also keep Michael Bisping down, which is what happened. I think Michael Bisping made a tactical mistake. He was too worried about George St-Pierre's takedown, so he was backpedaling a lot. Instead, he should have engaged in striking more. Even if he got taken down, he would get back up, and he should have pressed on with the striking. That way he would have more chance to tire out George St-Pierre and win the fight. But that didn't happen, and of course it's easy for me to tell you what he should have done. It's quite different when he's in the octagon facing George St-Pierre, who is a phenomenal athlete. To his credit, he did open up with striking at the end of the second round, when he felt that George was slowing down. Now, he might have slowed down because he got tired. After all, he did have a lot more muscle than before. Or maybe he decided to take a breather because he thought he was up on the scorecards, which he wasn't, by the way, in the second round. 2 out of 3 judges gave that round to Michael Bisping. So he wasn't, but maybe he thought he was because he got the takedown, they had some striking exchanges. So either he was tired or he decided to take a rest a little bit as a part of his tactics. Now, it's incredible what George St-Pierre was able to do after 4 years of absence. He won the title and he did that convincingly. He didn't do it perfectly. I noticed some things. Some people said that George St-Pierre was slower than usual. I don't think that's entirely the case. I think he was as quick as ever when it comes to the jab and the double leg. But when it came to the spinning back kick, I noticed that he telegraphed that move and that he was a bit slower than usual. So what did he do right? Many things. First, his jab was on point. He used his jab either to hit Michael Bisping or to prepare the rear hand, which connected a few times. So most of the fight was done on the outside, with both fighters trying to jab and cross each other. And the main defense that George St-Pierre utilized against Michael Bisping's jabs were picks. He was able to pick Michael Bisping's jabs and also return a jab of his own. Now, Michael Bisping was worried about the takedown the whole time, so he backpedaled a little bit, and George St-Pierre used that danger of the takedown so he can deliver the rear hand. And of course, the jab also prepared the double leg, which he was able to execute 3 times. Actually, the first takedown was a single leg, I think, and the second and the third one were double legs. He wasn't able to keep Michael Bisping down, which was expected, and he wasn't able to do too much damage. He did damage at the end when he clipped him with a left hook, but I'll cover that later. What stood out for me was the composure of George St-Pierre. Now we all know that he's a master tactician and that he fights very calmly without emotion, but after 4 years of absence, for him to fight like that, so calm, I think he even fought calmer than before. I think he even matured more as a fighter, which is incredible. 4 years of absence, some people would never dare step into the cage. He stepped up to a higher weight class and fought a champion and won decisively. Well, that's just amazing. Besides the jab and the 1-2 combo, he was also trying a couple of times to duck and then deliver a hook. Duck was a feint, so Michael Bisping thought it was a shoot, but then George St-Pierre came up with a hook. This he tried a couple of times, but it didn't work, and one time he even got clipped by Michael Bisping. Another thing he tried and succeeded with was the rear side kick. He caught Michael Bisping a couple of times with it. And of course he used his signature Superman jab. After one of these, at the end of the first round, he stunned Michael Bisping, who stumbled a little bit, and then George St-Pierre did something amazing, at least amazing to me. He tried finishing the fight with a spinning back kick, because this is something that most opponents wouldn't expect. What usually happens when one fighter is stunned is that the other fighter pounces on him and tries to finish the fight with punches. This did not happen, and George St-Pierre tried to do a spinning back kick, which actually connected. It connected at the top of Michael Bisping's head, it just grazed off the head, and if the kick connected a little bit lower, the fight would have ended then and there. And in the third round, George St-Pierre took Michael Bisping down for the third time. There's an interesting detail here. He was able to keep Michael Bisping down because whenever you want to keep someone down from getting up, you have to be higher than them. So George St-Pierre was able to elevate himself above Michael Bisping, and this is why he was able to keep him down. But Michael Bisping was able to work really well from the closed guard and cut George up with elbows by him posting on George's head and then delivering an elbow. So GSP's forehead was cut and nose, I think, also, and he was bleeding profusely. Now, after they got up, George was able to deliver a beautiful hook counter. Michael Bisping tried to deliver a 1-2 combo. George slipped and then delivered a hook, which connected beautifully. Then George pounced on him. And there we have an interesting thing, which George himself said. He set a trap for Michael Bisping. He was pounding on him in close guard, and then instead of pounding him even more and keeping the pressure, he released the pressure just a little bit, so Michael Bisping thought he could turtle up, and this is where George landed on him and started going for the rear naked choke, which he got. He even punched him once to the face so he can make the choking hand come all the way where it needs to be, and then he choked him out.
Many MMA champions use ground and pound as their go-to strategy. If you want to learn how to do it properly, check out my total ground and pound blueprint instructional. The link is in the description.
So what do you think is next for George St-Pierre? Should he stay at middleweight and fight Whittaker, or should he go down to 170 and fight Tyron Woodley? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't seen one of my videos called George St-Pierre is going after 3 belts, you can watch it by clicking in the link above. There I said that the goal of George St-Pierre is to cement his legacy and win 3 belts. 1 at middleweight, which he did, 1 at welterweight, which he already had, but maybe he'll do it again, and the third one by probably facing Conor McGregor, which would be huge. And also let me know if you think he can achieve that. If you like this video, like it and share it, and you can also subscribe to my channel. And if you like a more in-depth MMA training, check out my instructionals. My name is Mark Leitner from MMAcoach.net, and I will see you again very soon.